Hey guys, thanks for tuning into CMTEQ channel. This is C programming learning by coding. Now this is tutorial number 3, and in this tutorial we're going to see how to add two numbers using C programming. I've got in front of me an empty program. The man's program is not executing anything, it's only returning 0. If I run this program, you're going to see just an empty console, just with process return 0, and that is exactly because of that. But if we want to remove that story that is being printed on our screen, we can include a get car so that this function is actually going to make the cursor blink and waiting for the user to enter something. And what it will do, it will display an empty console, basically a clean console like this. Okay, now we move on, we leave it like that. So I imagine you sitting in an exam, a C programming examination, and they tell you write a small C program to print two numbers. Okay, so it's very easy. The first thing to do, you know that your program is starting from the main, so you go right into the main function and you start writing your code. What do you need? Two numbers. First of all, you need to declare variable that are going to hold those two numbers. Okay, so the first variable I'm going to declare, they're going to be of type integers. Int, okay, I'm gonna say num1, comma, num2, comma. Then I'm going to declare another variable that's going to hold the sum of the two numbers, and I'm going to call this one sum, then semicolon. Okay, so what's happening here? The three variables that I've just declared, they are all of type integers. So I'm good to go. Now, right now in the C programming memory allocation, these, if I run this program, I'm not gonna get nothing, but there will be some random numbers in memory assigned to this variable. But I need to write my program so that I can assign correct numbers into this variable. The next thing to do is to ask the user to enter the two numbers that you want to add. So you're now going to write print f, because we know that it's a print f that display a message on the screen. So you're going to write enter two numbers. Okay, enter two numbers, and you can be more polite and say please enter two numbers. Please be polite. Okay, and then semicolon. Always end with a semicolon, otherwise your program is going to throw in errors. Now if you run this program, now if you watch tutorial 2, you know we call function scanf so that it can store the variable or handle the numbers that the user is going to input. So we go scanf, okay, then we come inside the scanf. What do? We open the double quotation, and then we're going to now enter the format specifier for the variable that the user is going to enter. We know that we did declare them as integers, so which means we're expecting the user to enter integer. So the format specifier D also stand for integer. Okay, and now we need to reference the variable where the numbers are going to be stored. So we reference it with the %, and then we say num1, okay, comma, %, num2. So what this statement means here is the two numbers that the user is going to enter are going to be stored into num1 and num2. Okay, now that you know that variable num1 and num2 are now holding the two numbers that the user is expected to enter, so the next thing to do in this case here is now to handle your operation, your calculations. So here you're going to say calculation, and to calculate you're going to write sum, okay, is equal to num1 plus num2. This expression means the value of num1 and num2 are going to be added and passed into sum, variable sum. So in the context of C programming, what we're talking about is we got sum is equal to num1 plus num2. But now we know that num1 got some value. Let's say we take num1 a value of 2, and then we give num2 a value of 7, like that. So what it means is these two are going to be added and pass into the variable sum. So that will be 9. So in a memory location, this is what is happening. So we know that when your C program execute, sum is now going to hold the value of these two numbers combined. So now you need to display it on your screen. So you go again and you call the print function, printf, okay? Format specifier D for integer plus format specifier D for integer is equal to format specifier D. So you can see that you got a value here plus a value is equal to a certain value. Now what are these values? So these values are num1, num2, and then sum. So you can see you respectively, you know that this here going to take num1, this is going to take num2, and this one here is going to take sum. Now this is just for printing. The operation is already done there. Now you can go ahead and test your program. So we click on build and run. There it is. It's asking please enter two numbers. So I'm going to enter the first number. Let's say I enter 10. Then you must hit enter. And then another number 5. Then I hit enter. There we go. I'm getting 10 plus 5 is equal to 15. That is exactly what I just did here. So that is it for this tutorial. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to CMTEQ channel. Until next time, cheers.